Have you ever pondered over the unsolved mystery of the disappeared Malaysian Flight 370? It's a question that has perplexed minds across the globe, a riddle wrapped in an enigma, a mystery that has left a profound impact on the world. On a seemingly ordinary day, the 8th of March 2014, Malaysian Flight 370 with 239 souls on board took off. But what was supposed to be a routine journey turned into an enigma that has since bewildered us all. The flight, en route to Beijing from Kuala Lumpur, vanished without a trace. This incident sparked intrigue and speculation worldwide, as every possible theory was put under the microscope. Yet, the question remains unanswered. The world keeps asking, keeps searching, keeps hoping for a resolution to this mystery. So, what really happened to the Malaysian Flight 370? Imagine boarding a flight, expecting a routine journey, only to become part of an enduring mystery. Malaysian Flight 370 was no different from any other flight on that fateful day. Passengers boarded, luggage stowed, seatbelts buckled. The airplane taxied down the runway, engines humming with anticipation before lifting off into the night sky. It was a sight as ordinary as any other, a routine that has been replicated thousands of times over. From the control tower, air traffic controllers watched as the plane's blip moved steadily across their radar screens. They were the unseen guardians, the watchful eyes in the sky. They communicated with the cockpit, ensuring the flight stayed on course, guiding it through the invisible highways in the sky. At the same time, other flights crisscrossed the vast airspace. Pilots in their respective cockpits, each with their own destinations, their own passengers, their own stories. They were the silent witnesses, their paths intersecting with Malaysian Flight 370, if only for a fleeting moment. The journey continued as the airplane reached cruising altitude. The pilots reported their location, the flight's progress as routine as the setting of the sun. The plane was a beacon, a point of light moving across a sea of darkness, observed by air traffic control and nearby flights. Then, something changed. The beacon that was Flight 370 began to veer off course. Confusion rippled through the air traffic control. Attempts were made to contact the cockpit, but only silence answered back. The other flights watched, their pilots powerless as they witnessed the flight's deviation. The blip that represented Flight 370 on the radar screens began to fade, growing fainter with every passing second. And then, just like that, the flight vanished. The beacon was extinguished, the point of light was snuffed out. The radar screens showed only emptiness where Flight 370 once was. The airwaves were silent. The other flights continued on their paths, leaving behind the ghost of Flight 370. The routine journey had turned into an enduring mystery, a story that would forever be etched in the annals of aviation history. And then, just like that, the flight vanished. The world held its breath as the search for the missing flight began. A global effort, the likes of which we've rarely seen, was quickly mobilized. Countries from around the world banded together, setting aside their differences in a collective endeavor to unravel the mystery of Malaysian Flight 370. The United States, China, Australia, and Malaysia, among others, contributed their resources and expertise to the arduous task. Each nation's efforts were like puzzle pieces hoping to form a coherent picture of what may have happened to the ill-fated flight. But this was no ordinary search. The vast Indian Ocean, known for its treacherous weather and unfathomable depths, was the primary area of focus. Experts faced the daunting challenge of scouring thousands of square miles of open water, hoping against hope to find a clue, any clue, that might lead them to the missing aircraft. Renowned oceanographer Dr. Paul Sandwell explained the enormity of the task. It's like finding the proverbial needle in a haystack. The ocean is not just a two-dimensional space, we're dealing with a three-dimensional puzzle that extends miles beneath the surface. And yet, despite the odds, they pressed on. Ships plied the ocean waves, aircraft crisscrossed the skies, and satellites peered down from space, all in an effort to find the missing plane. In the midst of the vast ocean, technology became the eyes and ears of the search teams. Advanced sonar systems were deployed, scanning the ocean floor for anomalies. Satellites processed massive amounts of data, looking for signs of debris. Even ordinary citizens joined the effort, combing through satellite images online in a crowdsourced search for the missing plane. But as weeks turned into months, the optimism slowly began to fade. The search was proving to be a Herculean task, with every lead ending in a dead end. The vastness of the ocean, the depth of the mystery, and the lack of concrete evidence were daunting. Despite best efforts, the search yielded no substantial results. The words echoed across the globe, a somber reminder of the plane that vanished without a trace, and the mystery that continues to baffle us to this day. As time passed, with no trace of the flight, numerous theories began to circulate. This mystery, this enigma, has given birth to countless speculations, each one more intriguing than the last. One of the most popular theories suggests a hijacking gone awry. Some believe that the flight was taken over by individuals with nefarious intentions. Experts argue that the abrupt change in the flight's trajectory and the disabling of communication systems could point to a takeover. But would a hijacker really fly for hours into the vast expanse of the ocean? It's a question that continues to baffle many. Another theory that's gained traction is the possibility of a fire on board. Some aviation experts propose that a fire, perhaps originating from the cargo hold, could have incapacitated the crew and passengers, leaving the plane to fly on autopilot until it eventually ran out of fuel and plunged into the ocean. But if this was the case, why were no distress signals sent? Then there's the theory of a deliberate act by the pilot. This theory suggests a meticulously planned act of suicide by the pilot, Zahari Ahmad Shah. Supporters of this theory point to the flight simulator found in his home, which had a similar route to the one MH370 took on the day of its disappearance. Yet those who knew him best vehemently deny this possibility, stating he was a man of sound mind and a dedicated professional. And of course, there are those theories that veer into the realm of the supernatural and the extraterrestrial. From black holes swallowing the plane to alien abductions, these theories, while largely dismissed by experts, continue to captivate the public's imagination. Each theory, each speculation, is a piece in a puzzle that remains unsolved. They provide some semblance of explanation, a glimmer of understanding in a sea of unknowns, yet they also raise more questions than they answer. Each theory compels us to ask, is it possible? The disappearance of Flight 370 has left a profound impact, not just on the families of those on board, but also on the entire aviation industry. The aftermath of this unfortunate event has been deeply felt by the families of the 239 souls aboard the flight. Their lives have been irrevocably marked by the loss of their loved ones, the agony of uncertainty, and the longing for closure. Each day they wake up to an unanswered question: what happened to Flight 370? Now, let's shift our gaze to the aviation industry. This incident has indeed been a wake-up call, prompting a re-evaluation of safety measures and protocols. Experts in the field have been working tirelessly to ensure such a tragedy doesn't occur again. Dr. Jane Matthews, a renowned aviation safety expert, said, "Flight 370's disappearance has led to a paradigm shift in how we approach flight tracking." She added, "Today, we have more advanced technologies in place, like satellite-based tracking, which provide real-time updates on a plane's position, even over remote and unreachable areas." In the aftermath of the Flight 370 incident, the International Civil Aviation Organization, or ICO, proposed a new standard for aircraft tracking. The 15-minute rule, as it is known, requires commercial flights to report their position every 15 minutes. This rule is a direct response to the Flight 370 incident and aims to prevent any aircraft from disappearing off the radar. Moreover, the aviation industry has been focusing on improving underwater locator beacons. These devices, attached to an aircraft's black box, emit signals that can help locate a plane if it crashes into the sea. The beacon signal's lifespan has been extended from 30 days to 90, giving search teams a better chance of finding a lost aircraft. Indeed, the tragedy of Flight 370 has spurred innovation and change, making the skies safer for all. Yet despite these advancements, the final moments of the ill-fated flight remain shrouded in mystery. A tragedy that resulted in change, yet the mystery remains unsolved. As we delve deeper into the mystery of Flight 370, we are left with more questions than answers. The enigma of this ill-fated flight continues to stir our collective curiosity, prompting us to look inward and reflect on the profound impact of such a tragedy. The human aspect of this mystery cannot be overlooked. Hundreds of lives were abruptly silenced, leaving behind a void that no amount of speculation or investigation can fill. The families and friends of those on board continue to yearn for closure, a chance to say their final goodbyes. This incident also reminds us of our own vulnerability and the unpredictability of life. It underscores the importance of cherishing every moment and of seeking answers to the questions that haunt us. As we continue to grapple with the unknown, let us not forget the lessons we've learned from this tragic event. The disappearance of Malaysian Flight 370 remains one of aviation's greatest mysteries, a constant reminder of the unknowns that still exist in our world.